Greetings, love warriors. Greetings, love icons. It's so good to be here with you this evening. You guys, we have a wonderful topic, an amazing topic tonight. Our title is Divined Feminine and Masculine Energy. Divined with an ED, feminine and masculine energy. Before we get into that, I want to introduce myself. I am Pangea North Star. I am a energy healer, a Reiki practitioner, a sound therapist. I do guided visualizations and teach some classes. And I do all of these things in the name of teaching those of us who desire to live life more fully how to attract love energy into your life for the purposes of healing, right? For the purposes of abundance, okay? Living life more abundantly. So, tonight's topic, divined feminine energy. And you guys, let me know who's in the chat. Let me know who's here with me. Say hello. You guys, divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy is the energy of your highest self. Okay, we hear these terms all the time: divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy. You hear those words so much in the conscious community, right? However, like, what are we really talking about, right? Your divine energy is the energy of your highest self. Okay, so whether it's feminine, whether it's masculine, as you may or may not know, everyone has feminine and masculine energy. Must be it must be in balance for each individual. Okay, we all have feminine and masculine energy, right? And it must be in balance in order for you to be able to live your life in its highest form. So that is what we're talking about when we're talking about divine feminine or masculine energy. But what I'm talking about tonight is divined with an ED, okay? And the reason why I'm saying it that way is because we are talking about divine energy, your divine feminine and masculine energy. However, that energy doesn't just happen, right? Your energy doesn't just become divine. It doesn't just happen on its own. There are activities you must do in order to channel the energy of your highest self, to align with the energy of your highest self, right? And you must also you must also do so intentionally, right? You must be tapping into the energy of your highest self, and that is what it takes to acquire divine energy. Okay? Greetings. Greetings all. Informative Butterfly. Greetings, Shanae. Rubber Eater 86. Greetings. Good evening. So, your divine feminine or masculine energy is the energy of your highest self, and any activities that you do with the intention of aligning with the energy of your highest self is considered divining and or divination. Okay, now these words, I'm going to take time to bring some perspective and bring a definition to these words, because for those many of those are trigger words for some people. Okay, for some of us with religious programming, those are trigger words. So I'm going to give a definition. Okay, give an explanation of what I mean. So what we are talking about here is activities that one does to align with that highest energy. We can call that divining or divination. Okay, I am going to give a definition of that right now. The term divination originates from the Latin divinare, to foresee, to foretell, to predict, to prophesy, related to divinus or divine, or to be inspired by a God, okay? Or to be inspired by a God. And this is God with a little g, okay? A little g, okay? As it says in Psalms 82:6, to be specific. I don't want to just say it's just in the Bible. It's just in there. See for yourself. Psalms 82:6 says, "You are all gods and children of the Most High." Okay, so if we are to be inspired by our higher self, that is a God with a little g, to be inspired by a God, that does fit one of the definitions of divination. Also, that first definition of divination, to foresee or to foretell the future, to predict, to prophesy. What are we predicting or prophesying? That we will come into alignment with our highest selves, that we will live in our highest timeline. Okay. So, this energy that we're talking about tapping into, this energy that we're talking about aligning our lives with, this is love energy. Okay. As you guys know, my favorite thing to talk about is love energy. Like, I can't help it. I can't help it. It's my favorite thing. Okay. Love energy, right? That is source energy, right? It is the same frequency of abundance, of forgiveness, of acceptance, unconditional acceptance, the same frequency of water, right? The most abundant things that are in the most abundant um, supply on the planet Earth is love energy, right? All of these things align with love energy, right? So, anything that we're doing to align with that energy, it can be defined as divination. And I'm taking time to break this word down, divine, because it's such a deep trigger. I know for myself, I was raised religiously and I had to go and find out, do some research and find out some things that, some of the words that I thought were really bad are not, it's not. If you look at the definition of it, okay? Last reference I'm going to give just to help. Let's show compassion for those who are triggered by this word. Okay, if that's not you, wonderful. But let's be compassionate toward those who are triggered by this word divination or divining. Okay, because I want you to be able to get past this and understand that it's something that's necessary for you to ascend. Okay, so the last reference I'm going to give is Isaiah 16:12. Read the story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal. There was a whole divination showdown by a prophet of God in the Bible. Okay. So let's just move past that. Okay. So when I say divination, don't be scared. Okay. This is, we're talking about tapping into the highest version of ourselves for our purposes. Our purposes is for tapping into the energy of love. Okay. When you tap into the energy of love, you're able to forgive yourself and others. You're able to accept yourself and others unconditionally. You are able to tap into your abundance, your most abundant timeline without feeling guilty about prospering, without feeling guilty about being happy. This is important. This is how you live the fullness of life, right? So, we are talking about aligning with this energy, things you can do to align with this energy in order to live your life more fully, okay? We are talking about the things that you must do if you want to attract forgiveness to yourself, you want to attract people who give you grace, people who want to live in flow with you, people who accept you unconditionally as you are, as you're seeking love energy on the planet. That is super duper important. Okay, so there are things that you want to do, things that you want to allow yourself to explore with, to open yourself up in order to attract this energy. As you all may already know, if you are familiar with what we would consider the laws of attraction, right? Then you already know that whatever type of energy is in your energy field, what we would call your aura, is the same things that you are going to attract to yourself. Okay? You are going to attract what is already in your energy field. So you want to be intentional about not only aligning yourself with good vibrations, right? With good things such as the frequency of love, forgiveness, acceptance, and abundance, but also you want to be intentional about dissipating densities in your energy field, okay? Things that are blocking you from making progress, blocking you from healing your unresolved trauma. Unresolved trauma is what is blocking your energy field and preventing you from moving forward. And this could be moving forward in how you operate in relationships, such as if you have problems trusting people, if you have problems um, with meeting new people, that is a energy blockage as a symptom of an energy blockage. This could be something that is preventing you from being able to have long lasting friendships and relationships, from being able to forgive people, right? An energy blockage can prevent you from moving forward in your business. Okay, that's something else I also love to talk to people about is, hey, what energy blockages, what unresolved trauma is preventing you from moving your business forward, right? Moving your business to the next level. It could show up as, oh, I get so nervous and I get so anxious when it comes down to activities in my business that cause me to have to be seen, cause me to have to promote myself. I freeze up, right? If you are experiencing that, that is a form of an energy blockage. That is a result of unresolved trauma in your energy field, okay? So when we're talking about reaching a higher version of ourselves or tapping into the energy of our highest self, this is the same thing. I'm just saying it two different ways. Tap into the energy, tapping into a higher version of yourself, or tapping into your highest self. We're talking about a version of yourself that is able to do what you are not capable of doing right now today. Right? The version of yourself that when we're talking about your highest self, I'm talking about a version of yourself that has already faced every test you are facing right now. The version of yourself that has already passed every test that you are facing right now. The version of yourself that holds the answers for you and cannot wait to share them with you. That is your highest self. Okay, this is a version of yourself that has already passed every test. Because this version is making it possible for you to one day return home to source. That is the energy of your highest self. Okay? Greetings, Blue Lotus. So, when we're talking about your highest self, we're talking about the version of you that can do what you can't do today. So yes, you want to tap into the energy of your highest self, of a higher version of yourself, right? Of course we do. You must in order to reach your goals. You must. In order to attract the things into your life that you want that you don't currently have, you must align yourself with the energy of that thing that you desire to have, right? You must visualize the version of yourself that has the thing, that has that money, that has that relationship, that has that business going, that has friendships, that tries new adventures, that eats healthy, that cooks at home instead of eating out every day. Whatever your goal is, right? Give me some hearts if this makes sense. Give me some hearts in the chat, right? So that energy, we call it divine energy, but my point for you today is that it is actually divined with an ED energy, meaning it is energy that didn't just happen. You had to do some things, you had to take some steps, you had to make some choices and commitments in order to reach that version of yourself, right? So how do we do this? How much time do we have? How do we do this? First, the most important thing that you can do, I'm going to throw out some examples of the most important thing you can do for yourself is to ask your own highest self. Get quiet. If you like meditation music, play meditation music. If you like being in the tub, get in the tub. If you like being in the shower, whatever brings you to center. If it's complete science or blasted heavy metal rock music, it doesn't matter. If it's working out, whatever it is that brings you front and center with the core of you. Get quiet with that. And ask the question, how do I connect to the energy of my highest self? What can I do? What is the divining? What do I need to do to tap into my magic? How do I tap into my magic? When you ask yourself this question or these questions, it could be a list of questions. But the most important thing you can do is listen to the first thing that comes to your mind. I don't care how crazy it sounds. Do not push that away. Do not push that answer away. Listen to it. It may say, don't eat meat for 30 days. I'm just throwing something out there. I'm not saying that's the way. I'm not at all saying that. It could also say, take all your clothes off, go in the backyard. Right? It could say, bathe naked in the full moonlight. Right? Whatever it says. It may say, build an ancestor altar. Okay? It could say, get up and do yoga every morning. Whatever that answer is, do not push that answer away. That is your answer. Okay? And no matter what suggestions or whatever I ever give, nothing I ever share is more important than your divine guidance. I want to make that clear. And I'm just going to say side eye. Anybody trying to tell me that their idea is more important than my divine guidance, and don't allow anyone to tell you that their idea is more important than your divine guidance, because your divine guidance is what's for you. Okay? So, divination, divining, tapping into the energy, your divine masculine energy, your divine feminine energy. You can do this in several ways. Okay? The idea is always to become quiet and listen for the core of you. And we're talking about the you that knows that you are not your ego. Okay? Now, you have to be willing to look at the core of you, the truth of yourself, that voice that tells you the truth about you, if you want to begin to attract more love energy into your life. Because if you refuse to look at yourself, to self-reflect, you will never see the truth of you, and therefore the real you will not be seen by others, will not be seen and recognized by others. If you're not presenting the most authentic version of yourself, if you are presenting a misrepresentation of yourself, even if it's by accident, or I'll say without a conscious thought, if it's just that you really don't know the real you, so you're showing the version of you that you've been taught to be, that you've been told to be, then that's who people are responding to. That is the version of you that is attracting a matching frequency. Okay, so you will attract other people who also are putting up masks, who don't or don't know themselves. Okay, and that's not what you want. Put some hearts in the chat if that makes sense. Okay, whatever level of authenticity that you present is going to attract a matching degree of authenticity. Okay, so we want to begin to welcome the truth of ourselves, right? And look at the unresolved traumas that are attracting the things that you don't want into your life, okay? Ways that you can resolve these unresolved traumas that are attracting more trauma into your life are through activities like, of course, one of my favorites, visualizations. I love to give guided visualizations, right? To help work through any fears or traumas that a person may be facing, or something you're trying to figure out about yourself, right? So I want to also, if you guys have questions, I do want to make sure I'm welcoming your questions. Bear with me, I'm just scrolling here. So let's talk about matching the frequency, align yourself with the frequency of your highest self. Okay. One example that we gave was visualizations. Another example that I'm going to give is meditation. Becoming very still within yourself, quieting your mind, taking time to have what I call original thought. When people think, for most people, when they think of meditation, they just think of totally clearing their mind. And if you're able to do that, that's great, but not everyone is. Okay, and I find personally that even after quieting my mind, that the goal of meditation is not just to quiet my mind, but what I'm enjoying is, after having quieted my mind, the pureness of the thoughts that come out after that. The purity of thought when the thought returns. Just because you've cut off the legion of social media ideas, advertisements, promotions, subliminals, all the information is being recorded by your subconscious mind all day long, right? Just having blocked that out, even if you clear your mind for 30 seconds, you can calm your nervous system in 30 seconds. If you are able to clear your mind completely for 5 minutes, that takes skill. But my point is that the very small amounts of time, and you'll get better and better, better and better over time. You may start off only being able to clear your mind for 30 seconds. You may start off only being able to clear your mind for 3 seconds. But work your way up and don't give up. But the reward is the purity of the stream of thought that arises after having cleared your mind. After having cleared your mind. Okay? It's like a refresh for your brain. Another thing you can do as a form of meditation is to focus on your chakras. You have a chakra system in your body. Just focusing on any in on any one of those chakras. My favorite is the heart chakra. So I'll just let you know about that for just a moment. Give me your questions and your comments if you have questions and comments, okay? But focusing in on your heart chakra, thinking about love, focus on the color green. Think of all the different types, all the different forms of love in your life. This could be neighborly love. This could be friendship love. This can be the love of your pet. This can be the love of a child in your life. The love that you received as a child from a parent or a grandparent, a favorite aunt or uncle, a cousin, right? A teacher in school, right? Anyone in your life that you have had any type of love experience with. It does not need to just be relationships, romantic love. I really want us to get away from always hearing romance every time we hear the word love. It's really unhealthy. And I want to say that it's really unhealthy if you only think of romantic love. When I say love, that's the only thing that you think of. Okay? Yes. Self-care boss says I had some great teachers who showed me love. Exactly. Okay? I have some warm teachers that really saw promise in me and would encourage me to participate in class, right? That's love, okay? If you only think of romance, if when I say love, you hear romance, let me tell you what's what's going on. If all you think about when you hear that type of love is romantic love, it's not good, because the moment you don't have romantic love in your life, you're going to tell yourself, I don't have love. And that's not true. If you fail to acknowledge all the other forms of love in your life and you only think of romantic love, the moment that's absent from your life is, oh, I have no love. That's what you're telling yourself. Okay? That's not true. Right? We have all these other forms of love in our life. We must not fail to recognize those. Okay? But thinking on those thoughts, thinking on those experiences that you've had of love in your lifetime centers you in your heart space. Okay? When you just spend time in your heart space. You don't have to then specifically try to think yourself through some trauma that happened to you. You don't have to do that in that moment. If you're just doing the visualization and meditation, you can just focus on the heart space and just allow your body to be overcome by that emotion of love. Just let go and let yourself flow with that. Allow your vibration to raise. Allow the energy of your magnetic field to rise. This is what we mean when we say vibrating high. Allow your emotions to match the feeling of love. Your emotions are what generate the vibrations, the frequencies in your energy field. It's emotion. It's based on your emotions. So allowing yourself to feel the emotion of the thing that you want to bring into your life is super important. Just do that. You don't have to sit around and think, oh, I've got to learn to forgive, the people in my past, my ex, my ex-husband, my ex-wife, my ex, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do that. Don't think about them. Spend some time just allowing yourself to vibrate at the frequency of love. Do this one day for 5 minutes and then ask yourself to go back and revisit whatever it is that was bothering you. You could later that night, when you journal, if you keep a journal, I highly, highly recommend keeping a journal. When you go to journal that night about the same issue, the same traumatic thing that happened for you, you will have opened access to new feelings and new information about the happenings of that traumatic event. that will help you begin to heal and work through it. That's exactly how it happens. Just spending time in the presence of love begins the healing process. Give me some hearts in the chat if this makes sense. Give me some hearts in the chat if this resonates. This resonates with you, okay? Notice that when you spend time in the vibration of love, new things open up to you the very next time that you revisit that same issue that's been bothering you. You will have a new perspective on it. It may be a huge breakthrough, or it may be just an inch of relief, just that inch of progress you needed for that day. But you will make progress, okay? Now, this higher version of ourselves, this divine energy that we want to be able to access and utilize to attract love energy. That is what we talk about each week here, attracting love energy into your life. You got to be willing to try new things in order to get to a higher level, a higher version of yourself. Other things you can do are Tai Chi, yoga, chanting. What is chanting? Chanting, I'll just go ahead and reference that also popular scene in the Tina Turner movie where she is doing a chant. She began to practice Buddhism at that point in her life, and she did the chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. This is a very popular chant used in Buddhism to bring peace, to get yourself centered. Okay? You must try new things to get to a new level. You can't be comfortable where you are. If you don't like the results you've been getting, then you can't be comfortable with the same old activities. Okay? Also, I think I did mention yoga, spiritual baths. A spiritual bath is a great way to tap into the energy of your highest self. It is a great way to divine or do divination, right? To divine the energy of your highest self, your divine feminine or masculine energy, right? What is a spiritual bath? A spiritual bath is an ancestral practice. A spiritual bath you can do by running a tub of water at home. You can put bath salt, like an Epsom salt, in there. You can put an essential oils or herbs, whatever you feel would channel the energy that you're trying to channel that night. Okay. And what I mean by that is there are herbs that make you relax. There are herbs that make you energize. There are herbs that help you focus. The same herb that you may drink in a certain tea to move your body into a certain energy, you can use those same herbs in a spiritual bath. Okay? You can use sage or incense. Okay? And you can say a mantra while you're in the tub of water. Water reflects or amplifies energy. So it reflects the emotions, it reflects the emotions back to you. It reflects the energy back to you. It amplifies the energy that you are exuding while you're sitting in that tub of water. Okay, so it's a great place to pray, to meditate, to chant, to say a mantra, right? It's a great time to do that. But if you know that you have things that are standing in your way, traumas that are standing in your way and preventing you from reaching a higher version of yourself, you must be willing to step outside of your comfort zone if you want to reach another level. So, this is the bulk of what I wanted to share with you. I do want to get into, I always talk about which chakras may be blocked. If you have a challenge with aligning yourself with any particular energy. So when we're talking about aligning with the energy of your highest self, if you're having a difficult time conceiving of the idea, if you're having, and I mean the conceiving of the idea of even tuning into the energy of your highest self, if that just feels really, really foreign to you, or when you start to think of this, or when you hear this, you feel a little confused, okay? This could be, because sometimes people hear like, well, I hear the word you're saying, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, or, no ideas are coming to my mind. This is indicative of a third eye chakra blockage or a crown chakra blockage. Okay. Your third eye chakra has to do with your ability to be intuitive in your sense of the unseen world. So if you're not feeling able to picture, to tune in, you're like, I can't feel the energy of my highest self, or even imagine a higher version of myself. I feel stuck. This is the energy that I'm in. I can't even imagine myself living differently. I want to get out of a money pit, but I can't even imagine myself with money. I want to experience love, but I can't imagine myself in a long-term friendship or a relationship. I can't imagine myself getting along with family, being embraced, having a good friend group or tribe. You can't picture that. You can't imagine that. That is a third eye chakra blockage. Okay? Or even if it's that you have a difficulty with we talked about guided visualizations. I've talked to a lot of people that are like, I just can't do the visualization. I can't, I'll try to follow along with where I'm being guided to allow my mind to go, but then I get confused, or I get distracted, or I hear, thoughts intrusive thoughts. I hear that quite a bit. That is a third eye chakra blockage. Absolutely. Okay. If we have questions about this, put your questions in the chat. If you are unable to clear your mind for a meditation, that's a third eye chakra blockage. Okay. If you become fidgety, if you do not feel that you have a sense of being guided through your life, that is a crown chakra blockage. Okay. If you do not have any sense of the guidance of your higher self, or however you may, identify a higher power, or you just, you feel lost in life, you just don't even have like an inward, what you would consider an inward, as self-centric, inward-centered guidance, something leading you, something pulling you. You just feel lost. You don't feel connected to anything, even to others. That is a crown chakra blockage. Okay? And the reason I say even to others is because your crown chakra also has to do with feeling connected to the universe, feeling a part of the all, feeling united to source energy, feeling one, being able to sense that you are actually one with source energy. If you cannot sense that the same spirit that makes the trees live, or our pet live, our house plants live, that same spirit is the same spirit that makes us live, if you're not able to feel the connectedness of the universe, that is a crown chakra blockage. Okay? And yes, that will prevent you from being able to divine, to align with your highest self. Okay? If you have a third eye chakra blockage and a crown chakra blockage, I'm picking these out because they're ones that are particularly difficult to get beyond by yourself. They can be particularly difficult to create a breakthrough in. Okay? Because if you do have a sense of being guided, you do have a source, or I'll say a method or a sense of how to tap into your divine guidance, then you can work through a blockage in any other chakra. However, if you don't have any sense of your divine guidance, any sense of intuition, where do you go, right? Where do you go on your self-healing journey, right? Let's talk about that. You can talk to, you can get a session with a Reiki master, a sound therapist, someone that you trust, someone whose practice resonates with you. It may be something that they teach about. It may be a service they perform without speaking at all, such as a sound bath, right? But whoever's energy resonates with you, whoever feels comfortable, feels safe, feels familiar, someone that you, in your gut, that you trust to guide you on that journey, okay? But it could be a Tai Chi master. It could be a yoga teacher. Whatever activities you feel drawn to, encourage yourself to open up. It's okay to go outside of yourself, because you're going to run into people that are guides that are here to help you. There are people that are assigned to your life to help you. You're supposed to have guidance from higher dimensions. Why wouldn't you? Right? When we understand the source energy is the energy of love, and that's what I mean when I say your higher self wants to share the answers with you. This is love energy that wants to share. Okay? So when you make up your mind and you make up your mind, and that sends out a frequency that says, hey, I want to tap into my higher self, right? I'm open, I'm surrendering. You will naturally attract. It could be baby steps, or it could be an instantaneous awakening. There are people, if you listen to a good example is Eckhart Tolle, had a massive awakening that was instantaneous, right? And he's a good book, just to reference who he is if you're not sure, is The Power of Now. Bestseller in multiple countries, right? Blue Lotus says mine has been baby steps. Exactly. For some people, it's like a trail of breadcrumbs. This is how it's been for me. A trail of breadcrumbs. Does that make sense? Let me know if that resonates. You find a little clue here. You look somewhere else and you find a little clue there. You're finding these little pieces of yourself. It's like a scavenger hunt. Your awakening, your spiritual awakening can feel like that. Okay? In any case, however it feels for you, it could be chunks, it could be waves. I'm sensing that some people watching this video are experiencing waves, meaning you get this wave of information, this wave of understanding, this wave of transformation. And then at the crest of it, you may have like this huge realization. You're absorbing that information, and then you kind of experience this decline, right? Where things just kind of even out. Yes, there's that integration period going on. Yes, and you integrate and you absorb new information, right? That's the kind of decline. It can kind of pull, and it feels good. That's the yummy part for me. That's a yummy part for me. I love just absorbing, but you kind of have this downtime, right? And then your energies begin to regulate as you absorb and accept this new information. You integrate these new realizations, right? There's this regulation period. You get some time to live in that reality, and you begin to go back up. You hit another wave. You hit a new realization, because some new question has been triggered for you, right? And you're like, hey, well, what about this? I think I'm ready for that answer, right? Up and down, up and down. For many of us, it happens like that in waves, And in times like this, for many, many people, over the last, especially, I'm going to say it really, really ramped up over the last 6 months. Okay. But so many people are just having these waves and waves and waves of downloads after downloads after downloads. It feels like their awakening, their spiritual journey has been ramped up, right? It's been ramped into full gear, right? Many, many people are experiencing that, which is totally normal because of where we are, where our planet is, and within the galaxy right now. Okay, our planetary alignments are always significant as well. I need to get somebody on here I've got a couple of different people in mind that I would love to talk to on my channel that are really good astrologists, really good astrologists. So let's work on getting those conversations going. And if you're one of the people watching this, you know who you are. But yeah, so our being in tune with our astrology, the planetary alignments that usher in certain energy, that bring the energy to support certain transformations and healings and realizations in your life, right? Then that is another form of divining, tuning into your divine energy. Yes, self-care boss says bring on that astrology wisdom, and she's one of those that practices cardology and has some astrology wisdom, right? So these things help us to get these glimpses of our higher self and become more attuned, more aligned with the energy of our higher selves. And at that point, when we have these new realizations, we find ourselves slowly but surely able to accomplish, able to connect to stay connected to those things that we were unable to connect to and achieve and accomplish and align with in times before. Okay. So at that time, when you realize that, hey, I really did absorb this information, I got this download. Now this situation is in front of me. I have an opportunity to act differently than I would have in the past. And you find yourself able to do that. That lets you know you're able to take different actions than you have in the past. That lets you know you have dissipated some of the low vibrational energy in your energy field. You have dissipated, you have broken up some unresolved trauma. Okay? So, does anyone have any questions before I begin to close tonight? If you do, go ahead and put that into the chat for me. Okay? But I want you all to begin to ask yourself, what are the activities? What is a new activity that you can do? Something new that you can try to draw closer to your highest self, to channel the energy of your divined, right? Because we have to do the activities. This is a verb, not an adjective. Your divined feminine or masculine energy. What can you do to get to that next highest level of yourself? Okay. So that is it for tonight. I've been led back to sacred baths. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not sure if you were on here earlier. We were talking about the spiritual baths and the way that the energy of that water amplifies, your energy, your emotions. You can also place a copper cup full of water on the edge of the tub. I would encourage you to only say positive things while you're in the tub, right? Speak what you do want to attract to yourself. Don't speak the words of what you don't want, right? And when you're done, when you've spoken, it may not even be intelligible words. It may just be frequencies, sounds, right? Such as oming is a good example of what I mean. That water in that copper cup absorbs the frequencies that you have released into the air through your words. And at the end of your bath, you can drink that to represent and to actualize acceptance of those higher frequencies. How do you heal from trauma and become your higher self? These examples that I'm giving are examples of what you can do to help heal from your trauma. Now, one thing I would also recommend to drill down and be more specific, because I think you may be talking about healing from a specific trauma. I would encourage you to journal about that. I would encourage you to become familiar with the system of your 7 basic chakras. Tell me if you are in the chat. Tell me if you are, if you already know your chakra system. Give me that information. And I can kind of give you some tips here. But tuning into your 7 basic chakra system and picturing, focusing on the energy of that chakra can be very helpful. For example, if you have a difficult relationship with one of your parents, right? That would be related to a root chakra for sure, because your root chakra has to do with the foundation, your emotional foundation. Okay, and you don't know about your chakra system. That's okay. Is there a specific trauma that you want to mention that it has to do with? I mean, you can be specific. For example, hey, it seems like I always attract liars in relationships, or always, I don't believe I'm gonna really find the partner that I want, or be as specific as you feel comfortable being specific. But doing visualizations that have to do with that specific chakra can be helpful. I'm waiting for an answer from Informative Butterfly. Oh, mercy. Okay. Mom was murdered and lost a child. Okay. My goodness. Definitely root chakra. I would say all lower 3. Your root chakra is has to do with safety and protection and not feeling safe. Your heart chakra also, I would say, I can only imagine the grief there. I can relate to this. I had a horrible tragedy in my family in 2007. So I can relate to this deeply. I'm sensing heart chakra for sure. But having lost a mother, which is someone, I want to say above you, the generation before you, as well as, and having lost a child, someone from the generation below you, if having lost, let me restate this way, having lost the person that you came from and a person that came from you can leave you feeling cut off, will leave you feeling like you are floating in space. Very sorry to hear that this has happened. Okay, but it can leave you feeling very detached from your source and detached from the experience of being a source. It's this very untethered, floating, not belonging, not feeling connected to anything type of feeling is what I sense there. Yes, thank you for that confirmation. So for that reason, I would say your sacral chakra, which is located below your navel and below your navel deep into your pelvis area, okay? Meditating there and picturing the color orange. I'm gonna encourage you to look up information on the sacral chakra, but this is also carries the energy of our ancestry, okay, as well as the energy of our progeny, that generation that came from us, our children. So the energy of our parentage as well as our children. Just reestablishing that connection to source. We all come here our gateway coming here to the planet from that realm in which we were one with source. The gateway that we cross through to get here is the sacral chakra. Okay, that area of, for women, is the womb, right? That energy is that sacred gateway that we pass through to come to the planet Earth. So that type of tragedy would deeply affect your sacral chakra as well. And reconnecting to sacral chakra energy would be a great idea for you. One thing you can do if you are interested in something like yoga would be to find a sacral chakra yoga video and tap into the energy of that womb. Find a sacral chakra meditation. Tap into the energy of that womb. Okay, to begin to access healing. Also accessing the energy of the heart chakra, love energy. And I'm saying this, recognizing what a tall order that is. This is the type of energetic wound that leaves us feeling cut off from love energy, from source energy. Okay? But doing meditations that are centered on love and that are centered on sacral energy can be very helpful. Okay? So, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so sorry to hear that you would have experienced that. But I definitely relate. Definitely relate. So I hope this has been helpful. Please give me some hearts in the chat and let me know if it's been helpful. I'm definitely sending you compassion. Absolutely. I'm glad to hear that you're going to look into it. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. We are at our hour mark here. I do want to encourage you guys to continue to tune in with me every Tuesday. It's 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We're always talking about attracting love energy. Love energy is for the purpose of healing. It's for the purpose of abundance. It is for the purpose of forgiveness of yourself and others. Unconditional acceptance, right? The energy of love is the energy of water, is the energy of the sun, right? So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again here next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central on Attracting Love Energy. I am Pangea Northstar. Have a good night.